Hey, Algebra 1. Alright, today we're going to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines, but before we jump in that, we have a problem of the day! Yay! Alright, so, while I'm talking, you should be getting out your stuff. So you do that while I'm talking. A few quick reminders while you're getting that stuff out. One, get your stuff out. Two, even though I'm not here today, your homework is still due tomorrow. If you're playing your cards right, you're having your homework out while we're doing this. You're making notes in your homework. That way, you got it good to go. And this video shouldn't take the whole class period, so you should be able to finish it today in class. With that being said, if you look in your homework, you got 5 homework problems. That's less than, no, that is half. Man, math's hard sometimes. That's half of what I usually give you. You can do it. I told you could. I believe in you. Alright, let's do this. Convert to standard form using only integers. You had a problem like this on your homework from the previous time that I didn't get into all my classes. So let's do this. Alright, black comes up pretty well on this. So let's do this. Alright, so first thing I need to do, distributive property. You distribute the 2/3 to that and the 2/3 to the -4. 2/3 times x is, didn't hear you. Yeah, 2/3 x. And 2/3 times -4 is, Mr. Brummond, we have no clue. You guys can do this. I believe in you. Because all you can do, let's go to that eraser. Boop. Boop. Alright, we're going to take 2/3. So plus 2/3 times -4. Like that. Wait a second. We can't multiply a fraction in a whole number. We need to convert that whole number to a fraction. We do that by dividing it by 1. So -4 over 1. I can't simplify. There's no numbers on top and bottom that can reduce. So we just multiply it straight across. So I've got 2 times -4, which is -8, over 3 times 1, which is 3. So I have -8/3. So I have 2/3 x plus -8/3. Bring everything else down. Don't forget the y minus 3. Technically, it's right here as well. Y minus 3 equals. Now I need to get that minus 3 over to the other side. Let's go ahead and do that. So I've got y minus 3 equals 2/3 x. Oh, I have some x's that look like that. 2/3 x plus -8/3. Let's add 3 on both sides. But Mr. Brummond, we don't know how to add 3 and 8/3. Yeah, you do. Convert 3 into a fraction that is over 3. So let's do some work over here off to the side. So we have -8/3 plus some number over 3. So you take 3, that 3 here, times that 3, and you get 9. So it's actually -8/3 plus 9/3, which is 1/3. So we have, starting from the left, working our way right, y equals 2/3 x plus 1/3. Not done yet, because we need to get it, the x over to the other side. So let's subtract 2/3 x off both sides. And you have -2/3 x plus y equals 1/3. We're not done yet because we have fractions. We can't have fractions. So I've got a 3 on the bottom that tells me what number I need to multiply by. So let's multiply everything by 3. 3, 3, and 3. At this point I need more room. Let's erase all this stuff over here. Erase. All right. So we have -2/3. Oh wait, let's write this the right way. There isn't necessarily a right way, but I don't want to confuse you guys. So you guys want me to write it like this: 3 times -2/3 x plus 3 times y equals 3 times 1/3. let's simplify this out. Got a 3 on top here, 3 on the bottom there, so that reduces. So you just have negative 2x over here plus 3y. So that's on the left side of the equal sign. On the right side, you got 3 on top and a 3 on bottom. Those cancel out. You're just left with 1. You are done, 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 done. Yes. So that's an example of a really hard one. I think your homework has one that's close to that level of difficulty, but I think it's even a little bit easier than that. If not, check. Let me know. Stale popcorn from last night. Alright. Next on our plate is parallel and perpendicular lines, 5.6. So you'll see me skipping past a few slides. It's just the example where I have you try it and then I go around the room and check. I can't go around the room and check today, so I'm going to skip past that. And then tomorrow for your problem of the day, you get to vote 1, 2, or 3, which example you want me to do before we take our quiz. So there's that. 5.6, parallel and perpendicular lines. The key concept, this just sums up what we're doing today. The top one is about parallel lines, the bottom one's about perpendicular lines. Non-vertical lines are parallel. Who made this? Are parallel if they have the same slope and different y-intercepts. Parallel lines are lines in the same plane that never intersect. And two non-vertical lines are perpendicular if the product of their slopes is -1. This is called the opposite reciprocals. Remember, slope is n. Your slope is n. So when you multiply your m's together, you should get -1. Go ahead and copy this down. I'll wait. All right, moving on. Write an equation of a parallel line. So this is like your first part of your homework. A line passes through 12, 5 and is parallel to the graph of y equals 2/3 x minus 1. What equation represents the line in slope-intercept form? Go ahead and copy this down. Sorry, checking on Beta Live. The best formula to use for this is actually going to be our point slope formula. That's the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. This is your x1, y1, and then this is your slope. So now we're going to plug those things back into that equation. It's that simple. We can do it. I believe in us. So we're going to have y minus, what's my y1? Right here. It's the 5. So y minus 5 equals m. Well, my slope is going to be the same. Remember, parallel lines have the same slope. So if this graph has 2/3 x, then a line parallel to that is going to have 2/3 x. So this is 2/3. Excuse me, 2/3, not 2/3 x. Thank you, Mr. Brummond. 2/3 times x minus x1, which is 12. Now, this is in point slope form, but the problem asks for slope intercept form. So we're going to have to do a little bit of math. So we're going to distribute first, just like we did for our problem of the day. And we get 2/3 x times 2/3, looks like minus 12 times negative 12. We can't do that by itself. We have to make it negative 12 over 1. Let's go ahead and bring everything else down too while we're at it. Y minus 5 equals 2/3 x. Bring that down. We can simplify this. We've got a 12 on top and a 3 on the bottom, so let's reduce that. 3 goes into negative 12 negative 4 times. So now what we have left is y minus 5 equals 2/3 x plus negative 8. We're almost done. I'm going to rewrite it over here so I have some room. Plus negative 8. So let's add 5 to both sides. Boop. Boop. And these cancel out, and you get y equals 2/3 x plus negative 3. There you go. That is in slope intercept form. We're done. I'll give you a second to catch up if I was going too fast. Lost my popcorn. Have my coffee at least. So this is pretty much just like the problem of the day. The key thing to remember when we're doing it is where we're getting our points from. So I gave you this point here, x1 and y1. And then the other part to pay attention is this parallel part. As soon as you see the words parallel, just think same slope. They also incidentally have different y-intercepts, but same slope. Same slope. SS. So there's an example of one of those types of problems. Plug in your slope, your m, into the m part of the equation, plug in the other 2 points, then distribute, which is what we did, and then simplify. That's it. This is, now you try it. The next thing that we're going to look at is classifying lines. So this is, I think, the middle part of your homework. Are the graphs of 4y equals negative 5x plus 12, then y equals 4/5 x minus 8, parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Explain. This is actually an example of like one of the hardest types of problems you'll have. I think you may have one of these on your homework. We need to get these so that they're in the same form. Sorry, now like half the class is yawning. So we've got 4y equals negative 5x plus 12. This is not in slope-intercept form, and this one is. The other one is. So let's get that in slope-intercept form. Let's divide everything by 4. If I divide this side by 4, I have to divide this side by 4. So these cancel out, and you're left with, let's go ahead and do the work over here, y equals. Now, when you have something like this with 4, and then you have a plus sign in between them on the top, you have to remember to take both terms and divide it by 4. So this is negative 5/4 x plus 12 over 4. Please bear with me. I know my negatives are in the wrong spot. It's really hard for me to write on my laptop, so bear with me on that. We can do some reduction. So y equals negative 5/5 plus negative 5/5 x plus 3. So we're comparing this line and then this other line from my equation. What do you notice about them? Well, the slopes look kind of similar. In fact, they are really close to being the same thing. If I multiplied one of them times, or should be divided by -1, then I would get the other. They're actually inverse or opposite reciprocals. The way you check to see if they're opposite reciprocals is you pick one of them. Doesn't matter which one you pick. So let's pick the 4/5. We take the opposite of it. So the opposite of 4/5 is -4/5. And then you take the reciprocal of it. Reciprocal means you flip it. So the 5 goes to the numerator, and the 4 goes to the denominator. However, don't forget the negative. So now we have -5/4. Wait a second. -5/4 is what the other one is. So we have a textbook definition example of perpendicular lines. And then I put that word explain. Yuck. Explain. Does that mean we have to write? Yeah. They're perpendicular. And then just tell me why. We said because they're opposite reciprocals. Because they are opposite reciprocals. There we go. So there you go. That's the reason why. If they're parallel, you would say that they have the same slope. So if they're parallel, you'd say the same slope, and then you would also add different y-intercept. And if it was neither, you would say the lines are neither parallel or perpendicular. And then you would tell me why. You would say they're not perpendicular because they do not have opposite reciprocal slopes. And then they're not parallel because they don't have the same slope and different y-intercepts. So I'll let you finish that up. Long night last night. Getting your stuff ready for today. And then I'm not even there. You just heard my slurping in surround sound. Ooh. All right. We have one more thing to talk about. Now we're talking about things that are perpendicular. We're still going to use the point slope form. I'm jumping in. You take a moment, copy this down. Be right back. Got my popcorn. Yum. All right. So we're going to use this formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So first thing we need to do is we're talking about the slope. The slope here is different. 1/3. However, we're talking about a perpendicular line. So we need to take the opposite reciprocal of 1/3. So the opposite of 1/3 is -1/3. And then the reciprocal of -1/3 is -3/1. Whoa, let's reduce that. -3 divided by 1 is -3. So that's going to be the m we use. So we have y minus y1, which in this case is right here. That's going to be the 4. So y minus 4 equals my new slope. Don't use this one. We're not making parallel lines. We're making perpendicular lines. So that's this guy up here. So -3 times x minus x1, which is dos, or 2. Oh, duh, for all of you Spanish and French speaking friends. I don't know it in German. Eins, yeah, I don't even know if that's 1. Sorry. I didn't mean to butcher it. Alright, hey, let's simplify this out because I want it in slope-intercept form. So we are going to distribute. So let's bring down the left side because you're not doing anything with that. Y minus 4 equals -3 times x is -3x. -3 times -2. Remember, negative times negative is a positive. So 3 times 2 is 6, so plus 6. Bam, we're almost done. We just got to get rid of that -4. So let's add 4 on both sides. Boop, boop. And we get y equals -3x plus 10. We are done. Done, 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 done. -3x, not -3y. There we go. Glad I could help you. You have 5 problems on your homework. I think I have enough time to replay this again. So if you missed something, you can catch it on the next time. Here's what I'll do. I'll have the sub replay it again, if you would ever so kindly. If you need to, get started on your homework. Be respectful to people listening. That means be silent. Thank you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. See ya.